Have you ever woken up in the morning, looked in the mirror, and quietly asked yourself, why does my body feel weaker every day? Maybe you've noticed that it's harder to get up from a chair, or climbing the stairs leaves you a little breathless. It's not because you've become lazy. It's because your muscles, those loyal friends that have carried you through life, are quietly fading away. My name is Dr. Robert. I'm 60 years old, and after more than 3 decades of working with older adults here in the U.S., I've seen this story repeat itself again and again. People who were once strong and active suddenly find their bodies giving up on them. The reason? Muscle loss. One of my patients, Helen, age 68, once told me she couldn't open a simple water bottle anymore. It sounds small, doesn't it? But for her, that was the moment she realized, I'm not who I used to be. I understood exactly what she meant. You see, muscles don't just help us move, lift, or carry things. They're the silent fire that keeps us feeling alive. When your muscles weaken, your spirit weakens too. Have you ever felt that way? But here's the good news. You don't have to accept that decline. Muscle loss is not an inevitable part of aging. It's simply a sign that your body is starving. Starving for real protein, real nutrition, and the right kind of care. And you can start reversing it with something surprisingly simple. Something that might already be sitting in your fridge. Cheese. I know what you're thinking. Cheese? That's the stuff people blame for cholesterol and weight gain, right? But not all cheese is the same. Some types of real, natural cheese can actually help you regain strength, balance, and vitality. The key is knowing which ones truly nourish your muscles and which ones silently tear them down. A few years ago, I began studying protein quality more deeply, especially how it affects people over 60. What I found was eye-opening. Not all protein is created equal. As we age, our bodies absorb and use protein far less efficiently than they did at 20 or 30. So even if you're eating chicken, fish, or eggs, your muscles might still be starving. And then, I stumbled upon something fascinating in cheese. More specifically, in real cheese, not the processed slices wrapped in plastic, not the soft, American cheese loaded with salt and preservatives. I'm talking about cheese made the old-fashioned way, naturally fermented, aged slowly, rich in enzymes, probiotics, and the kind of intact protein your body can still recognize. I once told one of my patients, if you want your body to get strong again, don't look for another supplement. Start with something simple, ricotta and Parmesan. She laughed at first, thought I was joking. But 3 months later, Helen, the same woman who couldn't open a bottle, walked into my office smiling. She said, "Doctor, I just lifted a whole bag of soil for my garden, by myself." That moment meant more to me than any lab result ever could. You see, sometimes true health doesn't come from complicated plans or miracle pills. It comes from the quiet things we've overlooked, the foods that still carry nature's original wisdom. Real cheese, with its natural protein, living enzymes, and healthy fats, is one of those rare foods that still holds its integrity. And for those of us over 60, that can make all the difference. I want you to imagine this. Every bite of real cheese, ricotta, Parmesan, or cottage, is like placing a small brick to rebuild your muscle house. Every day you add one more brick, slowly, quietly, until one morning you stand up a little easier, your grip feels firmer, and when you look in the mirror, the spark in your eyes has come back. Now, I know some of you worry about the fat in cheese, but here's the truth. When you eat the right kind, real, full-fat, naturally aged cheese, those fats actually help your body absorb vital vitamins like A, D, and K2. These are essential for strong muscles, bones, and nerves. Cutting out those fats doesn't make you healthier. Sometimes it's what makes you weaker. So today, I want to remind you of something powerful. Turning 60 isn't the beginning of decline. It's your body's way of asking for real attention, real nourishment. And sometimes transformation doesn't begin in the gym. It begins at your dinner table, with a single slice of real cheese and a moment of gratitude for the body that still carries you through life. In the next part of this video, I'll show you which cheese you must avoid at all costs and the two types of cheese that can actually help reverse muscle loss, proven in hundreds of my older patients. Because you deserve to feel strong, confident, and alive at any age. Now, before we talk about the good kinds of cheese, I need to warn you about the one that's quietly stealing your strength. You've seen it everywhere. Those neat yellow slices wrapped in plastic, labeled cheese product or American cheese. They melt perfectly. They taste fine. But here's the truth. They're not really cheese. Processed cheese is stripped of what makes cheese powerful. The enzymes, the probiotics, the real structure of milk protein that your muscles need. What's left is a mix of synthetic additives, emulsifiers, and phosphates. And these phosphates actually interfere with calcium absorption. So, you might think you're eating something rich in calcium, but in reality, your bones and muscles are getting weaker. It's like pouring water into a cracked glass. It looks full for a moment, but it never stays. If you have those cheese slices in your fridge, don't panic. Just start phasing them out. Your body deserves the real thing. Now let's talk about the kind of cheese that can truly rebuild you, from the inside out. The first one is ricotta. I call it the muscle milk of cheese. It's soft, mild, easy to digest, and it's packed with something called whey protein, the same kind of protein bodybuilders use to grow muscle. But here's the beauty. Ricotta is gentle, natural, and perfect for our age group. Ricotta gives you both whey and casein protein. Whey works fast. It's like a spark that tells your body, hey, it's time to build muscle again. Casein works slow. It keeps feeding your muscles through the day, or even while you sleep. Half a cup of ricotta gives you around 14 grams of high-quality protein. It's light on the stomach, and when paired with fruit or whole grain toast, it becomes a perfect breakfast or evening snack. One of my patients, David, he's 72, used to struggle with leg weakness. He started adding a little ricotta to his breakfast oatmeal every morning. 3 months later, he came back saying, "Doc, I don't need my cane around the house anymore." That's not magic, that's biology. When you give your body what it truly recognizes, it begins to repair itself. And the second type of cheese is aged Parmesan. This one's my personal favorite. Parmesan that's been aged for at least 12 months goes through a beautiful transformation. The proteins break down naturally into smaller amino acids that your body absorbs almost instantly. It's like giving your muscles pre-digested nutrition, ready to use the moment it enters your system. Parmesan is dense. Just a few tablespoons can give you a boost of protein, calcium, and vitamin K2, the trio your muscles and bones crave. Vitamin K2, by the way, is the nutrient that tells calcium where to go. Into your bones and muscles, not your arteries. I often tell my patients, sprinkle a bit of Parmesan over your vegetables, soups, or even eggs. You'll be surprised how that small daily habit changes your energy and balance. Let me tell you something. When I first started recommending these natural cheeses, some people looked at me like I was breaking every diet rule in the book. We've been told for decades that cheese is the enemy, that fat is dangerous, that dairy makes you gain weight. But when I looked at my patients who embraced real cheese in moderation, ricotta, Parmesan, feta, I saw stronger legs, steadier steps, and brighter faces. The science makes sense, but more importantly, the results speak louder. Your body isn't asking for perfection. It's asking for real food. The kind that still remembers where it came from. The kind your grandmother would recognize. Not a product with 20 ingredients you can't pronounce. So here's my challenge for you this week. Replace your processed cheese with ricotta or Parmesan. Just once a day, maybe on your toast in the morning or a sprinkle on your salad at lunch. Give it 2 weeks and see if your body starts to whisper a quiet thank you. Remember, strength isn't lost overnight, and it won't come back overnight either. But every small choice you make, every real bite you take, is a step back toward the person you still are inside. The strong one, the steady one, the one who refuses to fade quietly. In the final part of this video, I'll share a few more secrets. How to pair these cheeses with simple daily movements to make the results even faster. Because food and movement together are nature's true medicine. Stay with me. Your journey back to strength is just beginning. You know, after more than 30 years working in senior health, I've realized something beautiful. We don't just eat to live. We eat to feel, to remember, to connect with joy, and sometimes to find a little piece of ourselves again. A bite of cheese, a cup of tea, a quiet morning. Those small, simple things can become the most healing medicine we have. I often tell my patients, aging isn't a downhill journey. It's a time to slow down, to taste, to listen, to truly feel what's happening inside your body. Every choice we make, whether it's the food we eat or a slow walk on the porch, is an act of kindness toward this body, the most loyal companion we've ever had. I want you to imagine this. Tomorrow morning, you prepare a small breakfast, maybe a little cheese, some fresh fruit, a warm cup of coffee. Before you take that first bite, pause for a moment and ask yourself, am I caring for myself with love today? If your answer is yes, then you've already done the most important thing. You're living with awareness, with compassion, and with joy. Because in the end, good health isn't just about lab numbers or doctor visits. It's about that quiet sense of peace, knowing you're living well, and savoring each moment fully, gently, intentionally. If today's message touched you, inspired you, or made you reflect on how you care for yourself, I'd be so grateful if you'd click like. Share this video with someone you care about, someone who might need a little reminder of what it means to live well. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can keep walking this journey together, exploring simple, meaningful ways to stay healthy, joyful, and alive at every age. Thank you for staying with me until the very end. Take good care of yourself, and remember, every new day is another chance to live lighter, healthier, and happier.